Sonic games just got a lot bigger. Yes, you heard me correctly, Sonic games are getting bigger. We have some really kind of big news for the future of all Sonic games going forward. Sonic games are going to now have bigger budgets going forward. But there's a couple details to look through. But overall, I will say this is pretty great news. Honestly, this should have been happening already. But hey, better late than never. So before we get into all of this, hey, hold up a minute. 75% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So why don't you consider subscribing if you've been enjoying the content? You may be like, hey, this might be too early in the video. But 43,000 of you guys keep coming back to these videos, so I'm talking to you. Why don't you hit the subscribe button? Thanks, guys. But also, before we talk about the whole budget aspect, we also have some more information from a Q&A with investors, and shout out to Tails channel for providing this information, and always a nice format. I love the people at Tails channel, they are my goats. So let's get to reading. It says, while the Metacritic score for Sonic Frontiers was not as high as it was hoped, we know that it was well received by fans. How do you evaluate the quality of this title? And they say it's true that the Metacritic score was slightly lower than we expected, but the user score was very high. And that is very true. Sonic fans went crazy with the Frontiers praise, and honestly maybe it's a little overpraised, but it's just more so the fact that Sonic fans just wanted to show that they enjoy something that Sega made, and they wanted to just really let Sonic Team know, hey, Frontiers is a pretty good start, we want more like this, keep going, don't stop. And they also found out that, you know, it was widely accepted by pretty much everyone. And then they also say it's to be believed that we can build more repeat sales of Frontiers through pricing discounts and the recently announced DLC. We plan to further promote the Sonic franchise in the future, such as the release of Sonic Prime and the third Sonic film and merchandising opportunities. And they basically go on about just their pricing strategies and things that they have done that has been successful. But then they also say this: we've been able to achieve these results while maintaining a certain level of quality, and the number of units sold greatly exceeded our original estimation. We will continue to sell over the long term based on sales strategies such as pricing, promotions, and the development of further DLC. That further DLC could just be referring to the DLC cycle we're getting right now, or even more DLC such as paid DLC. And that's kind of what I was expecting from Frontiers. I was actually expecting the game to get paid DLC, but we actually are just getting straight up a bunch of free stuff. And honestly, I'm surprised that we haven't heard about paid DLC yet. It could be massive scale DLC that's paid for, or just things such as extra costumes and whatnot for Sonic. I have no idea what it could be, because honestly the multiple playable characters and new story thing is kind of big enough. But here comes the big one. We expect development costs for new titles to grow even larger in the future. We will strive to ensure solid quality in the development of major titles from our existing franchises. However, development labor costs will rise due to the impact of the global external environment, and we expect this trend to continue for the foreseeable future. Since it is necessary to take on these challenges for major titles, we are proceeding with a bigger budget even from the basic research stage. Therefore, we assure the development costs for the future new titles will increase accordingly. There you have it, guys. Sonic games are getting bigger budgets. You know what this means: multiple Unleashed-like titles. And honestly, that's what we need to see from Sonic right now. After Frontiers, we need to see Unleashed level budget. And I'm not talking whether you like Unleashed or not, but just the budget size of Unleashed was huge, and the whole game had a whole grandiose feel to it, and you can feel the budget and money and love kind of put into Sonic Unleashed. And honestly, we need that going forward for pretty much every single Sonic game. I'm referring to the mainline series, of course. I'm not talking about side games. Side games can have whatever budget they want as long as the game's good. And you could say that for even smaller budgeted main series games, but having that bigger budget will give it a more premium feel. In my opinion, this is absolutely massive news. I mean, we don't really know how big the budget for Sonic Frontiers was, but I can assume it was definitely a little bit bigger than usual, but it still wasn't extremely massive. It was probably more like a AA game rather than a full-on AAA game, but it still was able to actually come out pretty well. And don't get me wrong, the islands and whatnot are pretty big in Frontiers, but what the islands are populated with, I wouldn't say is AAA quality, but it's pretty decent. They also need to put a bigger budget into the animations, if I'm being honest. That's kind of one way you can tell that Frontiers is lacking in some budget. And also the end of Sonic Frontiers also is evident that budget started running out by that point. But because of this, the future of Sonic games have just changed again, and it's just gotten bigger again. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like from here on out, as long as they keep up what they started with Frontiers. Don't drop the combo. Keep the combo going. Come on, Sonic Team. Keep up that maximum Marvel vs. Capcom combo. We need it to keep going. My bad. I was showing my FGC side. My bad. But for real though, I really want to see them actually use their budget to their fullest. Really go in with the story. Really go in with the animations. Get the CGI cutscenes like Sonic Unleashed. CGI opening cutscenes. CGI cutscenes in the middle of the game. CGI at the end of the game. I think Sonic games are amazing when they have CGI, or it's just amazing in general seeing that within the game. The Black Knight cutscene had a really cool CGI opening. Sonic Unleashed did. Even Sonic Colors. Obviously, it doesn't make the game good, but it just kind of adds more quality feeling to me, to be honest, when there's a big CGI cutscene for Sonic. I want something that matches the Unleashed opening quality-wise. Now, Sonic's already surpassed Unleashed opening coolness, in my opinion, in Frontiers with the Supersonic stuff, but now I want that in CGI form. But I don't know, this has me pretty excited. What about you guys in the comments below? And that's going to be it for today. I just wanted to talk about it briefly. I don't think this warrants a full 10-minute discussion, but I do think this is worth talking about. So I'm pretty excited to see what they do with all of this. And let me know in the comments below once again how you feel about this whole bigger budget thing. Do you think it will help? Do you think it will not help? Let me know. And like always, I'll see you in the next one.
Well, whatever happens, happens.